man, I was scared. That intro there was scaring the heck out of me. Oh,
How
yeah.
you guys like the intro?
Excellent.
Yeah.
Not bad.
The graphics sort of remind me of that old Star Wars game that used to play, one of the first arcade games that ever came out. Remember how basic it was? Just lines, and you have the little thing so you can shoot down the aisle.
Like
Yeah.
or Tron.
Or Tron.
Oh, yeah, I remember that Tron game.
Yes.
I do. I played the hell out of that thing. Especially when it was in the arcades.
Very neon in the 80s, but yeah.
Aquaman's pretty cool with the neon, if that's what you like. I watched that last night.
Aquaman, okay.
Okay.
Nice. What did you think of that, huh?
I loved the neon, but I also love James Wan because I'm a huge fan of the Insidious franchise and The Conjuring, and of course Saw. But I thought it was pretty good, all except for the unmentionable actress in there who was kind of evil to Johnny Depp. I just can't even bring myself to mention her name.
Oh yes. I won't say her name either.
No.
James Wan is great. Yes. Everybody in the chat, look at him. Andrea, Vicky, Harry. Hi, boy. What's going on?
Hello,
Hi,
kids.
Hi, Snorty. I'm glad you made it. I know Snorty put this through the Dead Man Walking and Miss Dead Man Walking stream, channels.
Okay, Dead Man Walking.
Just real quick, the best thing about Tron is Jeff Bridges, because I'm a huge fan of the dude.
Yes, Jeff Bridges.
Yeah, the dude.
The Big Lebowski. I mean,
I know.
That is my favorite one of his.
Yeah.
Next to Big Trouble in Little China.
Hey, he's been in a lot of movies. I got a lot of dumb jokes, but anyways, we'll get
Big
to
Trouble in Little China. That's Russell.
I haven't opened this thing up yet.
I know it's shrink wrapped. What's going on?
I
You're
will
smothering
later.
it. You're suffocating it, Connie.
I know.
You can't breathe.
Yep.
So not only is there going to be somebody murdered, but you've pretty much just killed the whole cast.
Flat out. Yes, I did it with everything.
They were all killed with plastic in the box. Yeah, it's case
in my
solved.
living room.
Jeez. Oh my.
Well,
Anyway.
on another stream they did the movie Clue, and I brought up, how you get with the escape rooms that are good.
Yep.
But do it in Clue style in a house.
Oh, I have a game like that.
Yeah,
I have a couple of games like that.
A little house. The whole house.
Yeah, we should tell everybody what's going on with Chris. Chris is she's got aliens coming in at night taking her toys.
I know.
She's got
I know.
missing pieces in your game, which sounded cool. If you want to talk about it again.
Yeah. All right. I'll show everyone again. I thought we were live earlier and I shared it, but you guys just cannot miss this one. It's called Western Legends. Western Legends is an open-world sandbox tabletop adventure for 2 to 6 players set in the American Wild West. Players assume the roles of historical figures of the era, earning their legendary status in a variety of ways. Gamble, drive cattle, prospect for gold, rob the bank, fight bandits, pursue stories, become an outlaw, keep the peace. The possibilities are darn near endless. And when I was opening my game to play it, all of a sudden the bag of the gold nuggets is missing, and so are some of the characters that I was going to play. So I've been going insane, tearing my room apart, looking for the pieces, and they're nowhere to be found. So yes, probably some of those archons, some of those creeper aliens, extraterrestrials came in and stole it in the night.
Either that or a poltergeist,
Or a poltergeist, yep.
Any strange
succubus.
A succubus, yeah.
Yeah, anything.
Succubus.
Have you had that one alone right there?
Succubus, yeah, without the wild dreams.
Has anything been? I mean, any kind of imagery of like dreams or anything of the sort, like aliens coming in at night or something? I
I'm
mean,
a Stan man.
nothing like that, Chris. You have no idea.
No, nothing like that, but I had a really weird paranormal kind of dream. Are we allowed to share that, Connie?
Huh? What's that?
Like a paranormal dream?
Can she
Yeah.
share that on your channel, Connie? Yeah.
Well, I guess right
Off
when
and
I was
on,
falling
yeah.
asleep, I saw some guy, maybe like about 23 with brown hair, walking out his front door with it had one of those like push screen doors. And as he pushed the screen door, as he walked forward, he didn't see, but there was a spirit in front of him, a woman with black eyes and really curly hair. And he was pushing her as he was walking out. That's what I dreamed
Huh.
last
I
night.
usually check. Go ahead.
That's probably the succubus. And yes, she wasn't pretty. Nobody wants to get sucked dry by that.
Oh my God.
Sure, no.
Oh boy. What a dream. Jeez.
I know.
If it was a dream, maybe it was something else. What were you going to say, Connie?
On a lighter note, I have something really happy that happened in the past week also.
Yay.
I was walking down the street and there was a table with about 4 kids and a big jar of lemonade, and they had a little lemonade stand.
Nice.
And I don't know about where you guys live, but here in San Francisco, you just don't see that often. So I was just like, whatever, I'm going to help these kids out. And I bought a cup, and it actually turned out to be really delicious. They didn't use some people buy those mixtures that you just add to water, but no, these had fresh lemons, plenty of sugar, sweet and tart, all at the same time. It was beautiful. And the kids were really happy to have some money.
The thought is really good, but I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Connie. But
Yeah. Well, during the holidays, got a couple of the kids down the street from me, across from the school, North High School. You were selling it, especially when they had the parade going by.
Nice.
Over there.
Nice.
Yeah, no, the kids in high school aren't cute anymore. We're talking about the little ones.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about, the elementary school kids.
Oh, I thought you said the high schoolers.
It was across the street from the high school. But they go to school that's on the opposite side, down the street, same street. It's a junior high. It's right by, it's a corner of 91 and Stevens. That's a junior high. That's a elementary school right there. And more towards me, on the opposite side, is the same street is the high school.
Yeah, I'm in the suburbs, so there's a lot of, believe it or not, there's a lot of kids throughout the summer. As soon as it gets warm, they start making money with these lemonade stands and stuff. Kids some of the little girls, which is kind of cute, they'll make little jewelry and stuff like that too and put it on the thing. But
that is cute.
Yeah, but I stopped doing the lemonade thing because I was walking down the street one day and there was a table with 3 little boys. I know they were like 7 years old each, but the one was a punk, and everybody knew he was a punk in the neighborhood, and he's got the jug of lemonade behind the tree and he's peeing in it, and he's like, and the other kid's going, add sugar, and I'm like going, oh no. And I immediately went on to Facebook, for this, the city, and I because they posted there and stuff. I said,
I'm creeped out by germs also.
You don't want to drink urine.
No, that's just disgusting.
Yeah, that's not good. Anyway.
Yeah. Do you remember on Dumb and Dumber when that cop pulls them over after they've been peeing in the beer bottles?
Mm-hmm.
And that look on his face is like,
man, those are classic comedy, man. Jim Carrey is just so funny. I mean, he's dumb, but those are some of the greatest movies. I like it. Dumb and Dumber was a good one. It was a really good one.
It's a good one,
for
sure.
But I hope you find your pieces. It's funny that they came and just got the bag of gold nuggets. They're not going to get anything for it. It's not real gold.
I know.
Now let's see, get some kind of gremlins that we don't know, no one doesn't know about.
I can always substitute gold nuggets, with just whatever, pennies or pieces of something, but it's the cards that had the characters and what their abilities are.
Grape nut cereal. You can put it in a little bag.
Yeah, that's all I'm thinking of too.
What's a zombie's least favorite room?
What's that?
Oh, what is it?
Come on. How many rooms are in a house?
Depending.
Okay.
The basement.
No. No.
The attic.
What's a zombie's least favorite room? A zombie. Which is dead. The
Yeah,
living
that's-
room. The living room.
Living room.
Oh my God.
It's just so easy.
So
but so hard.
obvious.
I know. Too obvious. Anyways. Oh well. So hopefully you feeling a little bit better today. I got to get a wisdom tooth out, and I'm in pain, and I chickened out, so they're gonna have to put me to sleep.
They had to put me to sleep also.
So I didn't have a very good day today either, but I'm feeling better now. I'm feeling better.
That's
now.
good.
Extraterrestrials?
What about them?
Or poltergeists? I mean, is it either one of those?
For my tooth? What are you talking about?
Oh, it's your tooth. I
Yeah,
thought you
for
just
teeth.
meant something else in general.
No, teeth. His wisdom.
Yeah, what else did you think I lost? Memory? Possibly. I've lost that, and I think that has to do with aliens, but
No, the wisdom tooth is a big deal. When I had mine
No, I
taken
know,
out, I
yeah.
was terrified, and yeah, they put me out, and I was out cold. Don't remember anything about it, but the
isn't
pain
that
was.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Isn't that beautiful, Chris? That I had that for a wisdom tooth that had to be out back here, and they put me to sleep, and I just woke up, and I'm like, going, "Oh, that was fantastic! I didn't have to remember anything or think." So yes, I chickened out, and I said, "Yeah, just put me to sleep." Yeah, so that's what they're going to do.
Hey, when I had my wisdom teeth pulled up, I drove myself. I'd have to worry about getting knocked out. Nothing. Just the Novocaine, yanked them out.
Oh yeah, if
off
you
I
don't,
go.
yeah, if they just yank it and just Novocaine you, you can just drive away. But if you get put to sleep, you last time years ago when I was put to sleep, taking it out, I didn't remember anything, and then the next thing I knew, I was home. I'm like going, wow. And on the drive home, I videotaped myself talking.
Oh,
So
man.
I have a record of it being done with galls in there, but not
Oh my
remembering
gosh.
any of it. And my
I would pay
son's
good
like
money
going,
to see that.
what are you talking about? And because I was delirious. Anyways.
You know, I would pay good money to see that video.
I don't think I'll ever air that. That's a little embarrassing.
Yeah, I know. I understand. I never had a problem with dentists.
But I've never had to worry about my wisdom tooth until like the past few years. And then, you know, they're like, well, you didn't really need to have them out because a lot of people have them impacted and stuff like that. But mine were fine growing up. So anyways.
All I can say about that is when your wisdom teeth are infected or they start to hurt, the pain is worse than having a baby, and I'm not even exaggerating. So I'm telling you, in your head,
right.
it's so much pressure and it hurts so bad.
Well, that's what started happening to this wisdom tooth back here. It started hurting a couple weeks ago, and they gave me antibiotics and all that, you know, and took the x-ray, and they go, yeah, the nerve's right there on an infection. It's time for it to go away. I'm like, okay. So I took the medication, and now they just got to take the wisdom tooth out. Yeah,
I hope they get to do that soon for you, Dino.
Yeah, it's not hurting anymore, but yeah, no, I need to get it out. So call me out and okay.
Oh, with my wisdom teeth, they're all yanked out before the age of 25.
Well, a lot of kids, yeah, they try to get them out before, like when you're a teenager or something like that, when you're young. So they're like,
that's probably why you were able to drive away.
Right.
They told me that they start adhering to the jawbone the older you get, and that's why I had to get put under, and it was harder for them to extract them.
Dad, I can understand.
And they make you sign this paper that says, we're letting you know that there's a nerve that runs along the bottom. If it gets severed, you'll lose your sense of taste. I was like, oh, great.
What?
But what are you supposed to do? You just have to take a chance.
No. Was that a bottom one or an upper?
It was a bottom one.
Oh,
yeah, the way it is down below, down here.
Can you imagine? eating
No.
ice cream, like your favorite ice cream, and there's no taste anymore? You just like,
That's horror. That's
yeah,
horrific.
that would be horrible.
Yeah, I need to taste. I mean, I guess I wouldn't. I'd live, right? But
Yeah.
man, I think I'd go through a spell of depression, not being able to taste chocolate no more. But then on the other hand, you're getting rid of sugar, so then maybe you can become healthy
Yeah.
finally, right? I don't know.
It's
But
always
then
the,
on Halloween, you could have that candy, that nasty candy again, and you would be able to, eat Dave under the table because you could just eat him left and
Barf?
right and no problem.
Dirty socks? Yeah.
Yum.
Yeah, this tastes great.
I know.
Earwax.
Oh my God. I wonder if you,
You know, that stream was hysterical.
Yeah, it
With
was
music for
hysterical.
Halloween.
yeah, that was a fun one. I don't think I can get Dave to ever eat those again, but that's all right. We'll see. I do wonder though, if your taste buds go, can you eat all the like super, super hot like Doritos and nachos and stuff that you want?
I'm not sure,
You
but
probably can, but it's going to be like just like when you have taste buds, you'll still get diarrhea. I mean,
Oh
that's
God,
the
okay,
end.
that's
Yeah.
true. Oh
Hey,
geez.
I'll
Enough
be
said.
bringing it up myself. Got other issues going on if you
Oh,
haven't
man.
already.
So why do ghosts like rain? Does anybody know why ghosts like rain?
Why do ghosts like rain?
Clean sheets.
That's a good answer.
Clean sheets.
I have no guess. I'm terrible at these kind of jokes.
It dampens the spirits.
Oh, that's a good one. I
I
like
like
it.
that one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
What did the skelly eat on his birthday?
The skeleton?
The skillet.
The
What did the
skillet.
skillet
What
eat?
did the skillet eat on its birthday?
Breakfast, eggs and bacon. You cook it up? No, I don't know. I'm just making it up.
Chris?
I can't even imagine how a skillet would make breakfast. I
Yeah,
mean,
if
have
it's
anything
gonna
to eat.
Yeah, if it's going to eat something, I mean, you basically put stuff in a
Pancake.
skillet.
She's got it. Pancake. PAN.
A skillet eats pancake. Listen, yeah, I'll go with it. My mind's still going. I don't understand.
So
Hi,
far,
Sashi.
That's me. I don't
so
know.
far this summer, what have been your favorite parts of summer? Anything that stood out for you guys?
Kappa gorillas.
No, it's just been hot here, Chris. I mean,
Oh yeah,
yeah, it's been
yeah.
hot, and don't even get to. It's nice taking the long walks through the Metro Park system that we got in Ohio here. So when the sun goes down, it's nice, even if it's for 45 minutes, to just go for that walk. So that's a good part of summer. School's out, so hanging with my son a little bit more and stuff like that, but nothing really big has happened. I think I've been abducted, but I don't remember.
Woohoo!
So
That's my favorite.
I've been abducted, but I don't remember.
As a teenager, I had a huge crush on this boy, and we would hang out all the time, but he didn't have a lot of friends, and one of the main reasons is that people thought his family was crazy because his mother was able to draw pictures of extraterrestrials, and she claimed to be abducted. And she was very serious about it, and that's the first time I'd ever heard of such a thing.
So this was a while ago when you were younger.
In the 90s.
Well, yeah. That's when, if a parent came out and even talked about something like that, I mean, or whoever, they were laughed at. And I mean, I guess even nowadays, kind of, it's more accepted nowadays and people talk about it more. They see it on TV, social media, all that stuff. So you're not laughed at as much, but I think people have come to learn not to talk about it when they're in school. Let's keep it to ourselves. That's why a lot of the great stories you never really hear until people are like kind of older and stuff like that, and they finally come out with their stories. But I won't go on a rant. I think I just did.
Well, I mean, people are just a lot more accepting of extraterrestrial, even the possibilities of it. And now we have William Shatner and other people going just beyond the surface of Earth and touching. I guess they touch outer space, don't they? Or not really?
They touch it.
Yeah, they're close.
Yeah. It's. I would say that they're not in space, but they've gone as far as they could. To reach as close as they could past the atmosphere, but not quite. So yeah, unfortunately.
If I had the money, I would be making a trip on my birthday once every year.
Well, what did they talk about? Yeah, what did they talk about years ago? There was a billionaire named Bob Bigelow who was on Art Bell and all that. And he's still around, and he did a lot of investigation at the Skinwalker Ranch and all that. But so he's really into a billionaire. He's really into all of that stuff. But he was going to take the fuel compartments, which are gigantic, on a space shuttle that were left up floating around in space, and it could accommodate many rooms for a hotel, and he was going to connect all of those and make a spinning hotel in space. This billionaire, and I'm like going, that sounds so freaking cool. It's not even. I mean, I wanted that to happen, but what's it been? 30 years later or more,
something like that.
And nothing like that has come to fruition. But there's conspiracy saying that, they don't want it in space and all that. So yeah.
It'll be cool in the future, but right now you'd have to wear a diaper. And I mean, who wants to be in a hotel with other adults wearing diapers? I mean, that's nasty.
Well, no. Well, I think they were. The way he was going to build this, it was going to be so big, and there was going to be a spin going fast enough that created the gravity where people were going to be able to walk around. Because if you spin a large enough object in space, it's still not Earth's gravity, but you will get maybe up to a quarter of the same gravity as Earth. So you could technically walk around and walk amongst the areas on on the hotel space state, whatever he was going to call it. I forget. But and
the best part is if you're walking and you accidentally trip, instead of falling, you'll stand right back up.
True. Yeah. And there was a thing he was building on there that were like their vacuum type toilets. So as you sit down, and I think there's something similar even right now on the space station. So that they're using.
Oh, you're right. They use vacuum toilets. They just wear their underwear a long time is what it is, not diapers.
The way everything has to get situated too.
Yeah, can you imagine underwear hanging up on lines in the space? Oh, that would be disgusting. There's hardly any room now, John. Get that out of my face. You got to move 2 inches to hit a button. Yeah, that's so crazy.
It's Homer with the dope.
I wish it would happen though. Anyway.
Yeah, that's right, Vicky. Ew.
Well, like Chris said, they wear them for a while.
Yes, they do.
Oh man.
So what's new, Connie? Let's hear it. What have you been up to?
I got a couple of projects going in here.
All right, let's hear them.
What's up, Lizzie? What's up, Lizzie?
Yeah. I did another one of these.
Oh, maple syrup.
Some decorations on it.
Oh, nice.
This one's going to Mom and Dad. My first one I made, I gave it to my aunt and uncle.
What is it going to be? Is that finished?
It's mostly finished.
What is it going to be?
It's a decoration for Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay.
And I got a bottle that I'm deciding on what I'm going to do. Either going to be for Halloween or Thanksgiving, or a combination. Maybe flip it around. Ginger ale.
Oh yeah, ginger ale. It calms the stomach.
It does actually.
It's quite refreshing after a while.
And how about you? Do you know any new builds?
Hi, Mikey.
Chris. Yes.
He's the Lego King. Remember that.
Yeah, I mean, well, just stick around. One of these days, I'm going to say, you know what? All my time's going to that. You know, on the channel, Dino Brookhaven will one day resurrect itself because I've been doing so much. I mean, I'm building you can't see it here, but it's a motorcycle shop with a restaurant, and there's going to be a section for the fantasy builds that I'm building. Yeah, I got to do another video for
I
you.
remember you showed that recently.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. It's almost built. It's got a pool hall on the top shelf, a restaurant on the second floor, then a motorcycle shop on the bottom. It's pretty cool.
But
So
it's
I'm
one of
always
those motorcycle hangouts where they don't let the bikers drink because they don't want them getting rowdy, so they only serve them ginger ale. That's how it works in Dino Brookhaven.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
No booze is allowed. A couple of the taverns, they just sell yoo-hoos. So.
Oh, you have a tavern?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
There's a couple that have well, the taverns are on the lower levels because, you know, most of the modular buildings will have like a living quarter on the top. They'll have something else in the middle, depending, like an art studio or something like that. And the bottom is the main area, like a tavern. Like I got 3 different medieval, see, I got to show everybody these things, medieval taverns that I built. And they got the big barrels on it. And, you know, it's a whole thing. It's really cool.
I love it. I remember the saloon. I just didn't know you had a tavern.
The Western Saloon. Yeah. The Western City is over there. That's cool. I need more time to work on details. Anyways. Whatever.
And those
I
little teeny
everybody.
lights.
Yeah. The Late Horror Show just takes up too much of my time.
I get it.
And by the time I'm relaxing and building, I'm just like, I'm not turning the camera on. I'm sorry. I just can't do it. Anyways.
Yeah, I got a couple
I'm amazed that you have a show every single week, and every single night you present something.
Yeah.
I know. That's a good idea. I think I should do that. I'll do that. I promise. Connie, jokes.
Jokes. What did the vampire say when he got a job?
Oh no, I must get up
Dino
early
should
when
know.
the sun rises. Oh, I only work the 3rd shift. I don't know, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, honey.
I'll take it. I'm dying for this opportunity.
Like he's already dead.
There's no way anybody would get that one right.
I know, right? It's still out there.
Because they don't die. They're immortals.
I'm sorry. Andy's already dead, right? So
yeah.
You should know that one, Dino. You're immortal. He's already been bitten. Art Bell knew about it.
I know. What the hell?
Well, I try not to let that out. So, you know, that's why I let it stay gray, you know.
He's not really drinking the ginger ale. He's just pretending. We know what he drinks.
That's why it never empties. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, positive.
Very observant. Okay. What was the second joke, Connie?
Why don't mummies take vacations?
Why don't mummies take vacations? I don't know. Probably has something stupid to do with like little baby mummies
being wrapped up.
Monkeys. I mean, mummies are being wrapped up in too much stuff. Yeah, I don't know.
Anyone in the chat?
That's the good one, Chris. Can't take vacations because the mummy is too wrapped up in other things.
Something like that.
Whatever.
What's the answer, lady?
You're close. They're afraid they'll relax and unwind.
Because if they do, they'll be nude. And that would be disturbing because it's got to hold
Pharaoh's nude.
Got to hold all that dust in, that decomposing dust. Yeah.
That actually is probably one of my favorite movies, The Mummy.
The original?
The original.
Yeah, it is scary. It is creepy, and it's more intense than you would think.
Yes. Even though The Mummy is only shown for a tiny
Mm-hmm.
couple minutes there, and that's it. Yeah, I think just a couple minutes, and then you don't get. But then you get, you get Boris Karloff, and he's
Mm-hmm.
kind of, got that look to him, and all of that. So yeah, no, it's listen, The Mummy's fantastic, and it's also got a very cool vibe, and a little. Is it a little bit of that? I'm trying to think back now. Art Deco. I get art. No, Art Deco. There's a little bit of that
Yeah.
thrown throughout in various scenes, like the Black Cat and
Mm-hmm.
some of the earlier Universals too. Which this October, me and Dave are going to talk about. I think I told him. He asked me, "What should we do in October?" I said, "Let's Universal Horror."
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah. So
That'll be nice.
yeah.
Or like Boris Karloff, he's just a genius. I love that he
Mhm.
often played a mad scientist kind of guy, and he played really gutsy roles. What's that one where his daughter, he's trying to communicate with people in the afterlife on the other side. Just some very scary ideas. He didn't care what society would think of him in these movies. He just went for it.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you that movie, but he was in a lot of movies.
A lot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, he was in an Abbott and Costello, Abbott and Costello Meet the Killer, which
Yeah.
is
Ooh, I haven't seen that one.
oh, you gotta see it. It's with Boris Karloff. There's a funny scene where Costello, no, I mean Bud Abbott goes into I'm confusing names, and I've watched every one of their movies a million times. In Meet the Killer with Boris Karloff, he goes into this. Back in the 50s and 40s, they had these boxes that you would get into, and they would lock you in, like there's a square box, and it would push a bunch of hot steam in it, and you're supposed to lose weight with the steam, And in the movie, yeah,
some kind of steamer.
Yeah, it's a weird, like, just box where your head's poking out the top.
I've seen those in movies.
Yeah, so
and
weird.
then they also had that one that like shakes people with the
Oh well, yeah. Shaking your blubber will make it go away. I don't know. I don't think that'll work.
It just made everything hang lower. That's all I could say about those shaking machines.
Those were so funny. It tightens up the muscles. It gets rid of the. I mean,
I never got into that style.
I mean, that's like quack medicine type stuff. Anyway, in that Abbott and Costello Meet the Killer, you got to see it. But they put him in a box in there, and he gets stuck in there, and that scene is just so funny. But it's one of their better movies. Boris Karloff's in it, and Boris Karloff's played in quite a few, like, even funny roles in some horror movies. Like he was in a Charlie Chan. I think it was Charlie Chan at the Opera, and he played in that. I think that was the movie. But yeah, no, Boris Karloff's great. I know Connie's got some Christopher Lee stuff to talk about.
Yeah, I know he like.
I could talk Abbott and Costello all day long, but yeah.
Yeah, I know. So can I.
I'd love Abbott and Costello.
Yeah, with Christopher Lee, he did a lot of movies. He was in the war. He did heavy metal albums.
Yes, he did.
So especially with Charlemagne.
Charlemagne. He played Dracula 10 times.
That too.
Yeah.
So he saw The Last Execution by Guillotine in France.
He saw the very last one performed. Yes.
I think like 74 or 72 or something like that.
We will cut off your head. In real life.
Literally.
Yeah.
Talk about head, and the whole new meaning on heads will roll.
Scary.
Yeah. He was a bizarre man who yeah.
You
realize how scary they are when you see movies like The Purge, and people are running through the streets, and at night, some of the crazies have like set up a guillotine. And when you see that, you realize, oh my God, if you had ever had to face a guillotine, it has to be one of the worst ways to go for sure.
Oh yeah. You don't want. I mean, it's quick though. I mean,
especially if it's sharp enough and all height.
Unless it's dull, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
well, we got to do it again.
Yeah.
We
Quick
got to
is
do it
like,
again.
you know,
Slowly.
just not even knowing you were already gone. But you know that dude sitting in a boat. Did you guys see that in the news where some guy got swallowed by a whale very quickly?
No.
Yeah, I heard something about that.
He was in a kayak, and you can go online and see it. And a whale just jumped up out of the water and swallowed him. And so, very temporarily, he went under the water. And I think he was in the whale's mouth. Well, to me, that's how the guillotine is. You're not quite dead. And before it happens, you have a lot of time to think about it. Even seconds, you're thinking, oh my goodness, here it comes. To me, that's the worst. It's the best way to go is just when you have no idea it's even coming.
Well,
Right.
of course it is. did the whale spit him back out? Did he live?
The whale spit him out very quickly.
Humans.
I know.
The worst.
What an aftertaste.
I know. You would never be able to eat fish again, probably.
Well, humans are very sour. I mean, I have no idea.
Sour.
Yeah.
Any sour.
I know.
Yeah, with Christopher Lee, so he had, like I said, several languages, and he was the only one out of the cast of Lord of the Rings that he actually knew Tolkien.
Yes. Yes, he did. And he went on to play Saruman in Lord of the Rings.
Exactly. And one hell of a job, too.
Yes, yes. But
Didn't matter what he was in movie.
Oh, and my favorite movie with him is, of course, The Wicker Man, Christopher Lee.
Yes.
Oh, The Wicker Man was good, but my favorite one, of course, just has to be, well, two. Dracula is amazing and so intense and so creepy how his eyes are all bloodshot. He's scarier than I think any other Dracula, but also I liked him as Count Dooku.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Phantom Menace?
Yeah.
It wasn't Phantom Menace. I think it's Revenge of the Sith.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. Yeah. No, okay, you're right. Well, I mean, come back from the dark side, Chris.
I've seen all the movies so many times that I just can't always remember what,
Come, Chris,
which one that comes from. It's either Attack of the Clones or Revenge of the Sith. But he was a great, he used to be a Jedi and then he turned into a Sith Lord. But I was just always so impressed that he's done everything. Sci-fi, horror, everything you can imagine. He really was amazing.
Yes,
and a very intelligent gentleman on top of it.
And handsome. Oh, man. When he was young, he was just hot.
I'm with you on that one, Bestie.
Yeah. Now we get to talk about the guys because Dave and Dino go crazy about Gillian Anderson.
Well,
yeah, the crush session of every Sunday.
I know, exactly, every time.
I know, I apologize, but
don't apologize. When you guys get like that.
Yeah, me and Dave were a couple of guys. We're talking about the cute chicks on these old 70s shows,
But Gillian Anderson just was gorgeous.
Oh, she still is.
Yes.
I haven't seen anything with her in it, but I just, as a 20-something-year-old, I thought she was gorgeous.
Yeah, she's aged well, like a fine wine. She's very beautiful. Very beautiful. Anyway. Hurry up,
talk about she's very beautiful, and then he's like looking down under his table where his pull-out poster of Gillian Anderson is.
Right, yeah. There's a big one right there up there. No, that's my city. Anyways.
I'm not commenting.
Ay.
Hey,
no, okay, I won't do that one. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think Connie, you should try to find that movie that he was just talking about with Christopher Lee and Abbott and Costello, and try to find that for movie night one day. That would just be amazing.
Yeah, I was thinking about that anyways.
Yeah, Abbott and Costello meet the killer. Yeah, I know that a lot of the Abbott and Costellos aren't on a lot of the streaming services because of, for some reason they just don't do it, and they're all on. You got to get the DVD or Blu-ray or something like that. Yeah, but there is a way on Restream to you can not Restream, cost me. You can show your own movie, but even I tried that, and people were saying, "Oh, I can't see it. I don't understand." So It's hit or miss sometimes, you know. I don't know.
I had a couple of problems with a couple of the movies I've done.
Oh, really?
It wouldn't go through. Kept like recycling and said with the trailer or whatever. I switched to something else.
Well, you can. What I was doing was trying to go from my hard drive, which it allows you to do if you've got a movie on your computer, and you could just play it from your computer.
Okay.
But that wasn't working, and I never tried it again, so I don't know. Hey, what's a ghost's favorite dessert?
Blueberry.
That's a good one. But
that is a really good answer.
Yeah.
I have no clue.
Ice cream.
Ah.
Oh, this is a good one. Here, let me do this one. What do you call 100 zombies in a sauna? 100 zombies in a sauna.
Jerky?
I have no clue.
I was just going to see if you guys had anything funny, but it's a dead sweat. I like that one. I don't know why.
I got one here. What do you call a monster who poisons cornflakes?
A cornflake poisoner. No, I don't know. So stupid.
Yeah.
You're close. A serial killer.
A serial killer.
That's
right.
A serial.
Yeah.
Why do skeletons hate winter?
Well, they got no clothes. Well, they don't. They're dead. They're just bones, so they shouldn't feel anything. But
the draft.
You're close on with the bones there, Dino, because the cold goes straight to their bones.
Bomp, bomp, bomp. Oh well.
Oh, that's good, Vicky. I'm glad you heard that one.
Yeah, there's a couple I heard, and I'm like, oh, okay. Abbott and Costello meet Frank. Listen, don't get us going on. Yeah, Abbott and Costello. Sean says, hey, Sean, what's going on? Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein is one of the great, I think, is the greatest comedy horror of all time. In my mind. I mean, without a doubt. I love it.
Yeah, love their movies.
Oh, it's something I could put on every night. A lot of times I do when I'm going to bed. I'll just fall asleep to this. It's so good. It's so good.
Well, I recently watched Jurassic World. I watched it for free online on, one of the free streaming channels, and it was better than I imagined.
That's what a lot of people said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can imagine what it's like when you see a large bird fly by, well, imagine that's a pterodactyl. That's what made it so cool. I really highly recommend it to anyone who likes dinosaurs.
No, very cool.
Well, if you think about it, I had some living dinosaurs in my life for 50 years. They're called birds. They are a direct link to the dinosaurs themselves.
Yes, they are. I mean, so well, I guess through the DNA they did.
Through the DNA.
Yeah, figure that out. But
I guess the difference is just that, like, Jurassic World had some really cheesy moments, but it had some very good actors. But overall, it was just a family story, where this is just more of an action movie. And
was Jeff Goldblum back in there?
Jeff Goldblum wasn't in this one. It didn't have any of the original people that I can remember.
Okay, yeah, that was almost like
that one with the guy that plays Star-Lord?
But the creatures were scarier. I don't know what Star-Lord's is.
From Galaxy, Guardians of the Galaxy, he played Star-Lord. He's a human.
I think I don't know. They all start looking the same to me. Some of these superhero guys.
I haven't kept up with the Jurassic Park series franchise.
Same here.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't pay attention to it either. I just watched this one, and it was really good.
Just that one. You didn't see the original Jurassic Park?
I saw the original, and I think a long time ago I might have seen the second one, but I don't go to the movies and watch them. No.
My last movie I saw was Megan 2.0 last week
at the theater.
Yeah. Well,
or last movie you seen?
Yeah, that was the last movie I just saw that, which was last Tuesday.
Oh wow!
Well,
How about
I,
you, Dino? What was the last movie you saw at the theater?
At the theater? Holy Moses! I haven't been to the theater in like 6 years.
Last thing I saw was It, the one that came out like 2017 or 18
oh, it's Skarsgård is playing.
with
Yeah.
Skarsgård.
I'm trying to. So yeah, it's been a while for you too.
Yeah, the kid who played Skarsgård. Normally, without the makeup, he looks a little bit odd, but with the makeup on and it, spot on. Even though I love Tim Curry in it, the original.
Yeah, no, kind of. You're right. There's some people that, you put the makeup and masks on them, and they look much better.
Yeah.
Boris
The
Karloff.
features made it even scarier. That's even that.
Yeah.
I think Boris Karloff kind of looked a little bit unusual, and so he just always looked better with makeup and stuff on to me.
Well, yeah, they didn't even. Go ahead.
For Karloff, he had the he could take some of his teeth out, and he gives that suck it in look around his mouth.
Yeah,
which helped out a lot.
Yeah, he had the sunken
prosthetic.
cheeks.
Yeah,
like Peter Cushing. Same thing.
Peter Cushing pop their teeth out.
Yeah, you can pop them out and make the character look totally different.
Yeah, Boris Karloff, I think early in his life did not. He just didn't take care of his teeth, and he had full on teeth that he would take out early in his career. So something could have happened. Who knows? I don't know.
Well, maybe a long time ago too, they didn't have the technology they have now. So even just caring for your teeth might have been a lot more difficult. Procedures would take longer. Who knows? Because I mean, wasn't it the guy Clark Gable who played Rhett Butler? They always said he had bad breath, and Vivian Leigh didn't like that. The kissing scenes.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, all those male leads too, they smoked like,
smoked like a train.
And yeah, if you just didn't keep up with your hygiene even for a day, I can imagine how bad that would. Oh God!
And some would be drinking too.
Well, the alcohol could kill the bacteria and make it a little bit more pleasant, maybe. I don't know, but
depending on the alcohol.
Yeah, but back in the day, those 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, you started to get into better products and stuff like that. But the first 4 decades of the century, last century, not this one, because we haven't hit 4 decades yet. They're just, women had to wear their hair the same way for like so long, and I won't even get into hygiene even for women, but things were awful back then. I
know.
Geez, I in a way,
or like those old radio shows, they're always trying to make it sound like it's healthy for you to be smoking your cigarettes. Yeah, so you go like you go to your husband, babe, you got bad breath tonight. Go get one of those cigarettes over there.
Yeah, please take a nice long drag on that cool menthol.
Like 9 out of 10 recommend Camels or whatever the cigarette they're talking about at the time.
It's so funny looking back on those times.
Put some wild root in there while you're at it.
Yeah.
And get some Roma wine.
No, it's just I couldn't imagine not showering even one day. I need to shower every day and brush, and I overbrush because my parents never told me to take care of my teeth when I was young. So once I reached a point I'm independent, I've always taken care of my teeth, and I brush them like too much. It's an electric toothbrush. I go overboard, and what you can end up doing is wearing down the enamel too, and then you start getting sensitive teeth. And I'm like going, but I don't want no cavities. I don't want this and that. But they're like, well, you got to find that medium. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just me.
I know. I have bad teeth, but I'm constantly flossing and brushing my teeth too. And it does. It starts wearing down your gums. Got to be very gentle. It's a mess. I hate going to the dentist too.
Yeah, like in anything, you overdo it.
Right, right. But I can't find that middle because I can overdo it no matter what. Anyways, yeah, I go from 1 to 100. I can never stop at 50. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
anyways.
Then you get some people have that OCD borderline or over it.
Yeah, if I could travel back in time, I definitely would take the toothpaste stuff, the soap, the shampoos, deodorant, all that. Yeah, because I gotta, and I'd hoard it and hide it in a cabinet, like if I went back to the 20s or something like that, and yeah.
There we go.
Anyways.
And the powdered toothpaste.
Yeah, that's what they started with.
Yeah.
I mean, really, yeah, it was powdered toothpaste. Yeah. It was basically like a baking soda mixture type, that you would put on your teeth, bicarbonate or whatever that, and they would make paste out of it too at times. But oh my
god, baking soda tastes so gross.
Think about ancient times, the way their hygiene was a lot different than it is today on a lot of things.
Did you say ancient Egypt?
Yeah, Egypt. Yeah, their hygiene was different then than it is now because of progression.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in ancient Egypt, they were extreme about things too. They shaved their hair off their body and their heads and wore wigs and.
Well, and back then they were so into that holistic stuff, and there were certain herbs and stuff, and they actually took care of themselves better than later, definitely, during the 1800s. I mean, we went downhill as a civilization, throughout the Civil War and all. I mean, I'm talking about during the Civil War because they were in war. They couldn't do things, they got gangrene, they got infections, oh my God, that's just
that's a
totally different thing. But yeah, we just didn't take care of ourselves, and we lost that holistic side of things where there are things out there, like even just chewing mint, that can grow like crazy in your yard. You chew on that and it helps to control the odor, kill the bacteria, and keep the gums healthy and actually keep your teeth clean. So, actually maybe I'm going to start.
I could go in my backyard in my little where my pumpkin patch is at. There's some mint growing right there. I could just grab a handful and go from there.
Nice. Yeah, mint, once you get mint in your yard, you're never going to get rid of it, so plant it in a, like a lot of people will plant it in a bin that surrounds it so that it can't, go farther than where you want it to be. So
you can string it up and dry it. Save it for whenever you need it.
You could put it, like drop it in like a pitcher of water too. And to have some mint, oh, so good. So good.
Where my pumpkin patch is at is originally their garden, and it's lined with cinder blocks all around. It's a good couple feet wide and everything else.
Nice.
It's contained in there.
Okay.
And that's where I stuck my pumpkin seeds for the last 2 years. Matter of fact, I'm going to be taking a short little video of the week of them growing, the pumpkin patch.
Nice.
Pretty.
Yeah. A progression video.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be cool. Yeah. By the way, why did Frankenstein have to go to therapy? Why did Frankenstein have to go to therapy?
Electroshock?
To fix his nuts and bolts.
Oh my!
That was my next thing too.
To fix his nuts and bolts. That's a good one. And
well, he had those things, didn't he? That they showed pictures.
Yeah, up to the side.
He did.
I used to get Cardi to hook him up to it.
and shock therapy, that was a good one too. But no, he had some trouble pulling himself together. Those were all good though. That was pretty funny.
I like that one.
I like it. Anyways. No.
There was a board game that I had. It was called like Abomination, but it was basically about Frankenstein, where your job is to in a old Paris, your job is to hunt down body parts, and you're racing against someone else to see who can build their Frankenstein creature the fastest. And it
Really?
sounded like such a cool idea that I bought it. I was really excited about it, but as you start going through the pictures, even though they're drawings, it just looked like too many dead bodies and things. It creeped me out too much. I had to get rid of it.
I had a similar dream that I was making bodies for like a week straight.
You had
Ugh.
what?
I had a dream of making body parts all week.
Oh, making body parts? Holy hell, Connie.
Holy hell, Connie, what are you growing in that garden of yours?
She's growing bodies. There's heads poking out. It's motel hell.
That was my running. It pops every 6 months to a year. It pops up every.
Yeah, we all got those. I think a lot of people have those types of recurring, I mean, in different ways, but yeah, no, I'm enthralled with like Jack the Ripper, that era you were talking about, especially Victorian England, and all of that stuff. So I would love to. It was called what was the name of the game again, Chris?
Abomination. It's called Abomination.
Huh. That sounds pretty cool.
It's by Plaid Hat Games.
Plaid Hat Games.
Definitely got to check into that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can still get it. You probably can find it pretty inexpensively, like on what is it, Facebook Marketplace. But I bought it when it was new, when it had first come out, and then the pictures of like all the dead people that were on the cards. I mean, around Halloween, you're like, yeah, cool, but it was a little bit too intense. I was like, oh my gosh, this is a little too creepy.
It's almost like almost like characterizing dead people.
It looks like real dead people to me, but they were just drawings. They were cartoonish enough to not look too real, but there was something that scared me about it, I guess.
There were scary drawings.
But I love the story of Frankenstein, and I think like a lot of people, I never saw it as a horror story. It's just so sad to me, the story.
Was it a game board?
It was a board game by Plaid Hat Games.
Yeah, no, that's yeah.
And it takes place in old time Paris.
Okay. I would see if Amazon might have it.
Yeah, that would be a cool thing to do if somehow we could get a board game set up and we could all play.
The interesting part of the game was that if you collect too many body parts too quickly and you don't start building your creature fast enough, then they start to rot and you basically have to keep starting over.
Oh no.
Okay.
So you can only, I don't know, it is a very grotesque game, but
don't let the body rot.
Yeah, don't let the body rot. You have to be able to collect pieces and build quickly as possible to win the game.
Wow. Is there a song that's something like that? With the bodies rotting?
I can't remember that part.
The bodies. Yeah, no, that sounds very eerie. Yeah.
Look how with Mary Shelley wrote Frankenstein, especially with the technology then and the grave robbers for experimentation and everything.
Well, people cared for their own dead though, right? I guess, you bring family members home. I don't know if the Victorian, like the wealthy people did, but probably the poor people wash them at home and dress them. And
well, the thing is, some of them would take pictures after they died. They would somehow keep their eyes open with something. And
they would
with the pictures. It was a long process, very expensive. Then they would do it that way in order for the memory of the families.
Yeah.
I was looking at some of those recently.
Yeah, they would pose them in like positions, like in chairs and stuff like that, and kind of gather around sometimes the body and smile. Yeah, that had to be just a really weird time when family members passed away, and sad too,
I think the most unusual one I saw when I looked at those pictures recently, because I recently had a family member who died, but I wasn't very close to them, so I don't have any sort of strong emotion about it. It's just when that happened, I was just looking things up as we all do when big things happen. And I remember there was one picture of a bunch of children, maybe like 6, 7 children, and then one of the children had died, and so there's like the little baby in a chair and all the rest of the kids standing around to commemorate it. But can you imagine being a child and losing one of your siblings and just a little kid and having to be in that picture and have it your whole life?
Yeah, yeah. Well, think of the other thing too, like early in the last, 1900s, where, I mean, you're lucky to, if you have a family of 7, you could have 2 of your kids. It was normal for a couple of your kids to like pass, from scarlet fever or any number of things that, back in the day, tetanus, stuff like that. And oh my God, I couldn't even imagine.
I
And
know.
Couldn't even imagine.
my mom was one of 9, and she was born in 1950.
Mm.
And the youngest, what was his name? Dave or something like that. He would have been 8 years older than I am.
Okay.
And he was stillborn.
Mm.
And Aunt Grandma had a couple in between mom and the youngest. If they all would have lived, she'd been one of 14.
Well, my mom had I think I mentioned this on one of the paranormal streams that I did, because my mom, I should have had an older brother, and he's got a stone and everything, but he didn't make the night. He was born with half a lung. That's all he was born with. This was way back then. And he soon passed, but my mom was in the bed. She's asking for her, can I see my baby? Can I see my baby? But she ended up, she said she looked out the window and saw this. And again, you imagine what you've been told and what you've grown up with. And she saw Jesus. No, I take that back. That was a different story from my mother. I'm mixing it up. It was an angel with wings, the typical angel you would see with wings. And she said she had, it was a female angel, had him in her arms, flying her up and saying, "You will see him again." And
oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Always remember that, when I was young. And she would always tell me too, "Yeah, you would have had an older brother." And I'm like, "Well, quit telling me about it. I don't want you're making it."
It coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Yeah.
I believe in it. I believe in the angels and in the fairies and in all the earth elementals. I believe in it all.
I definitely seen a few fairies in my time.
It's possible.
Yeah. World is full of the strange and weird.
Yeah.
And it's even more in depth than I would have thought. When you recently had that show, you and Dave, with talking about the pyramids and how they're actually vehicles of some sort. That was mind-blowing. It actually was.
Yeah.
Especially some of the other stuff that they yank out of there is like, wow.
And the sad part to me is that so much of this is real and goes on. And I mean, I'm talking about just the near-death experience type stuff. We could talk about UFOs, aliens, the abductions, things like that are going on and stuff. But there's really stuff going on out there, and people just laugh it off and don't, because the majority of people don't experience it. And
how about all those people that pull out those like embedded black things from their bodies that they say came from abductions? That's always very
unknown
unusual.
substance. Well, a lot of them are broken down into usually it's like 3 different substances that really shouldn't work together but do in the body. And our body creates this kind of like oh, what do you call it, sack around it because it's a foreign object, you know.
Mhm.
Yet they've found signals coming off of it too, which is strange. But my point is just it's sad that most people just get up, go to work, don't look up, go to their car, come home, eat, sit in a chair, and repeat. You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
it's,
yeah.
you know, it's a shame. I mean, because that's what I'd say 90% of the people do. You know,
Like Archie Bunker.
yes, yes, eat it there. They don't look at you. But yeah, no, it's if thank God I opened my mind to a lot of that stuff. A lot of it I couldn't help. I mean, a lot of
Yeah.
this stuff was thrust upon me when I was a young child. You know, so and I was raised in a family that actually had stuff going on. And you know, so there's that. So it was thrust upon me, and I became very open to it and learn things. And you know, once you do that, you're just like, wow, you know. And then there comes a point when things happen to you enough that you go, you
Mhm.
know, this is real. But you can't convince the people who, like I said, come home, sit in a chair, go to sleep, you know, repeat you know, it's like Groundhog Day, you know,
Yeah.
that's your life, you know, for, you know, the longest time. But anyways, I digress.
Yeah, for me, I always did look like my heart and mind is like for space.
Mhm.
And also I take after my mom on this one a little bit. I could see something before it happens.
Okay.
Could
Okay,
be like
that's well,
5 minutes or a year in advance. What's
okay.
going to happen?
Yeah, that's a little bit of you know, psychic ability. You're able to touch into um the universe, so to speak,
Mhm.
the connection between all living things and things that seem to be dead, because there is not one thing that doesn't resonate energy. I mean, even the table here, it resonates in energy, you know, that it sounds weird, but every little piece of chemical atom is connected throughout the entire universe. And again, I do believe that that's how, you know, we connect with people who are psychic or mediums and stuff like that. So yeah, no, it's so complex but simple if you just believe.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Anyways,
don't ever like just brush it aside. The more you believe it, the stronger it gets, and that's the best part.
yes, come to the dark side, Chris. I'm already there. I'm already there.
We're
No.
not worthy. We're not worthy.
I know.
Please don't cut off my no.
Never mind.
uh,
No.
oh well. Yeah. Well, you know, I'm gonna have to start getting ready for the overnight stream. So, you know.
Yeah, I guess it's getting close to that time there, Dino.
Yeah, and I gotta call my son
Yeah,
before
definitely.
he's away at track camp. So I'm happy about that, but he's away. So he's very rarely away that I don't see him every day. That rhymes, you know. Anyways.
Well,
So well,
I heard that your son has accomplished some big things recently, and congratulations
Oh
to you
yeah.
and your family, Dino. That's
well, thank
wonderful.
you. Thank you. Yeah. I train
Getting
him
close.
hard, but it's up to him to become the person that he is becoming. So at he just turned 17. So the stuff he's accomplished at 16 is unbelievable.
Oh
And
yeah.
to think that he's doing stuff that I loved and I thought I was good at, and I went to state in and all of that, and he's accomplishing that and more and surpassing me. I'm like going, first of all, I'm like going, listen here, kid. But then again, I'm going, wow, you have so much opportunity ahead of you if you stick with this and you just keep progressing. So
Well, he has a good teacher. He has a father who is has a beautiful imagination, who really pushes himself to accomplish things. You've accomplished a lot, and you've done a lot for old time radio. So we're thankful to have you, and I'm glad that your kids have you.
Same here. And thank you for doing that. The thumbnail for me. I love it.
Oh sure, yeah. No,
you little monkey boy. I miss him to bits.
Yeah, no, I thought we should have a thumbnail for the shows on Tuesdays. So yeah.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you. That's so sweet. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Connie. But I'm going to get out of here. And
all right. Well, it was great talking to you, Dino.
You too. I hope you find your gold nuggets.
I hope so too.
Find your gold nuggets. Check behind that picture back there.
I'm going to check everywhere. And if I don't find it, hopefully the extraterrestrials will bring it back.
Yes. Yes. You
Fingers
will one
crossed.
Day find it. I will.
The succubus brings it back.
Well, then you would be going, is it a succubus? Oh, I'm going to need to worry. But anyways. Okay. Thanks, Connie, for having me.
You're welcome.
Okay. See you later, alligator.
Okay. You guys all take care.
You guys, I'll see you in a little bit. I'll see you on the stream, Dino.
Sounds good. Peace.
Peace.
I think I could just close this one out, right? Yeah.
I could cook you out too.
Okay.
Bye. Well, that was great. You guys had some wonderful jokes.
Yeah. I hope you find what you're looking for those. For that game.
I hope so. This was a gift, and I really wanted this board game, so it means a lot to me to find the pieces, and hopefully I will.
Oh, you will. If worst comes to worst, you can always look online somewhere if you were that you could find them at. Or worst comes to worst, you could make them yourself.
I'll have to do something.
And you'll figure it out.
Thank you so much for having me on your show today.
You're welcome, Chris.
And hello to everybody out there. I saw Ezra pop in. Ezra, I would have had a Long Island iced tea for you, but I'm all out at the moment.
Same here, CK. All right.
And Vicky and Lizzie, everybody, hello. Signing out.
Thank you, everyone. I'll talk to everyone on the other stream, on the next stream, and movie night tomorrow night.
All right. I'll be there.
Cool. I haven't decided what I'm doing yet. But
still exciting. It's something to look forward to each and every week, and I'm always thankful for it.
Same here. I'm glad I added Wednesday night comedy night.
Yeah, it's been really good.
Cool.
All right.
Later,
Talk
everyone.
to you guys later. See ya. See you later, alligator. Bye-bye.